2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a 5-minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 5 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 5 minutes till showtime song. If we started all the action at the top of the show, there'd be buffering, loading, and spinning. So we play a little countdown to let you know that the real fun will soon be beginning. It's a 5-minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 5 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 5 minutes till showtime song. A countdown gives you time to prepare and builds up some anticipation. So get your snacks, grab a drink, and settle in your chair. It's nearly time to share our fun creation. It's a 4 minutes till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 4 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 4 minutes till showtime song. If we started all the action at the top of the show, there'd be buffering, loading, and spinning. So we play a little countdown to let you know that the real fun will soon be beginning. It's a 4 minutes till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 4 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 4 minutes till showtime song. A countdown gives you time to prepare and builds up some anticipation. So get your snacks, grab a drink, settle in your chair. It's nearly time to share a fun creation. It's a 3-minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 3 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 3 minutes till showtime song. If we started all the action at the top of the show, there'd be buffering, loading, and spinning. So we play a little countdown to let you know that the real fun will soon be beginning. It's a 3-minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 3 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 3 minutes till showtime song. A countdown gives you time to prepare and builds up some anticipation. So get your snacks, grab a drink, and settle in your chair. It's nearly time to share a fun creation. It's a 2 minutes till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 2 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 2 minutes till showtime song. If we started all the action at the top of the show, there'd be buffering, loading, and spinning. So we play a little countdown to let you know that the real fun will soon be beginning. It's 2 minutes till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 2 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 2 minutes till showtime song. A countdown gives you time to prepare and builds up some anticipation. So get your snacks and grab a drink and settle in your chair. It's nearly time to share a fun creation. It's a 1 minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 1 minute long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's a 1 minute till showtime song. If we started all the action at the top of the show, there'd be buffering, loading, and spinning. So we play a little countdown to let you know that the real fun will soon be beginning. It's the 1 minute till showtime song. It's a cute little tune that's 1 minute long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's the 1 minute till showtime song. A countdown gives you time to prepare and builds up some anticipation. So get your snacks and grab a drink and settle in your chair. It's nearly time to share a fun creation. That was a 5 minutes till showtime song, and now it's time to start the show.
That's it. Time to start the show. Yeah, the song's done. Why are you looking at us like that? Oh, that was only 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Yikes.
Oh, no.
I guess we could ask people to sing the chorus with us again.
Yeah, vamp, stretch it out.
That was the 5 minutes till showtime song. A cute little tune that's 5 minutes long. If you sing it real loud, you can't sing it wrong. It's the 5 minutes till showtime song. Ba da 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 da.
Hey, welcome to Talkin' Funny. It's the funny silly talk show that has sound effects now. All right, my name is Sasha, international hilarious comedian, and joining me, as he does every single week, is my good buddy, The Noob. Only, of course, The Noob does not talk because when he was a little kid, he watched his father kill his mother. A little bit more backstory and exposition, of course, but we're going to skip that tonight. This is an exciting show already. Look at what's coming and happening in the comments. We have Chicago Fun 4 saying, Jerry, 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 and Justin Kaufman saying, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. The people have only one thing on their mind, and that's they want to see our very special guest this week, Mr. Jerry Springer. Let's bring him right on the show. Mr. Jerry Springer, how are you, sir?
I am fine. It's nice to be with you guys.
It is an incredible honor to have you on the show. Thanks for making time for us tonight.
Did you go through 150 other possible people and then you got me?
Well, this is about our 150th episode, so
Well,
yes,
there you go. Yeah.
we did. We would have tried a lot sooner.
No, I'm happy to do this. You're kind to think of me. That's great.
Oh, we think about you often. I have to tell you, you've done a million interviews. Everybody knows about the Jerry Springer Show. Hopefully, they know about Judge Jerry, the show you're doing now. I have to tell you, what I appreciate most about you and what you do is, it seems to me, you felt it was important that people at home actually saw shades of themselves on television. And that was really new when you started doing that.
Yeah, I think in the beginning, back, which was what, 91, in 1991, when we first started, I don't think there was ever anything on the show that people didn't already know about, but they had never seen it before on television. That's what was different.
Absolutely.
Because up until then, American television was basically upper middle income white people. And, all the shows, whether it would be Friends or Seinfeld or Frasier or whatever the popular shows were, it was always, as I said, upper middle class white people. And all of a sudden we saw another element of society, or just regular people involved in crazy situations, and suddenly they were on television, and that seemed to be shocking. Of course, with today's social media, nothing that was on the show would be considered shocking today.
Absolutely not.
But
back then it was important what you did. What would be the equivalent today? What could you put on TV today that would be as groundbreaking as what you did back in 91?
Donald Trump telling the truth.
There you go. Hey, we have a question from our audience.
That would be shocking.
That would be very shocking, and also never on television ever.
Yeah.
Real Levine wants to know, what's your favorite trilobite, Jerry?
What's my favorite trial about?
Trilobite, like it's a prehistoric fossil.
I didn't hear it. And honestly, any kind of a dinosaur. I have dreams about them. That they're chasing me. What does that mean? What's the significance of that?
We probably have a few dream doctors watching the show.
Yeah.
We could analyze that for you.
But every once in a while, of all the things, because maybe it reverts back to my childhood, because I'm old. And when I was a kid, there were a lot of dinosaurs.
There were plenty of them. That's right.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Yeah.
We have a good question. This is, I don't know if you're familiar in Chicago with the thing called dibs, where people will shovel out their space and then put the chair in that space to claim it, so that because they did the shoveling, nobody else can have that parking space. Justin wants to know.
Dibs on it. Yeah.
That's right. Judge Jerry, what do you say about dibs?
It doesn't, it wouldn't stand up in court. It wouldn't stand up in court because it's a public parking place. So therefore it's open to the public. And unless you have a car there, you can't block the space. So you would probably, I've never seen a chair get a ticket, but somebody could move the chair out so that they could park the car and they would not be in trouble for doing that.
I think this is canon now. This is law. Judge Jerry said so. I'm talking funny, which is where the people go for truth. So,
Oh yeah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
we have Alex wants to know. Perhaps you remember me when we met at Denver International Airport in 2002.
Oh yeah, you were wearing the blue shorts.
Alex and her blue shorts, man. That's her way. That is so Alex.
Yeah.
Jerry, you did 4,969 episodes of the Jerry Springer Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, according to Wikipedia, which, as we all know, is
Okay. Yeah,
the
I mean, it's
source of all
about
truth.
5,000. I didn't know the exact number, but it's about 5,000.
I'll take your word. 5,000. So, of those 5,000, do you feel like there was one that sticks out to you as is the most special, the most important?
Well, none of them were important. It was just, I enjoyed doing the show, but
I think it was important. I say important for sure.
okay. But the craziest, oh gosh, there were so many that were crazy. I mean, I always talk about the guy who married his horse. But I came out, I do my final thought, and in my final thought, I came out against that. So, I was opposed to marrying your horse.
That's a pretty radical take on that one, Jerry.
Yeah, I took a stand when the horse came out. I said,
Wait.
"Why the long face?"
Well, when the horse came out, I thought you meant the horse came out
Yes,
as a horse to the other.
Well, here's a true story about it. I didn't know. See, I was never allowed to know what the show was about. So when I came out on stage, they would hand me the card that you'd see me holding, but all the card had on it were the names of the guests. And then because I didn't know what the show was about or who the guests were, my job was to ask questions that you would ask sitting at home watching and then make some jokes. So on this particular day, there's this guy sitting on stage on the chair, let's say his name's Bob. I don't remember the name, but we'll say Bob. So I start out like every show and I say, "Hey, Bob, what's going on?" And then Bob told me, he says, "Well, I'm having trouble with the neighbors." I say, "What's the problem?" He says, "The neighbors don't seem to like my wife." I said, "What's wrong with her?" He says, "I don't think anything's wrong with her. She's quiet. She keeps to herself." Well, this was getting boring. It was going nowhere. So I look at my card. The next name is Pixel. So I figure Pixel's his wife. All right, let's meet your wife, Pixel. Out comes this horse. Now, the crowd goes crazy, but I'm thinking, as I would think any normal person would think, that the poor wife has fallen off this horse, that for some reason she was going to come in on a horse. So I said, "Stop the cameras, stop the show. Is she okay?" And my producer starts yelling at me, No, that's his wife."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they lived in outside of Branson, Missouri. And, when you went to his home, the hallways in the home were extra wide because the horse literally lived in the home with him. And but we did a follow-up show because the horse left him.
Well, I could guess that it wasn't going to last. But what's funny, Jerry, is we had Phil Donahue on the show about a month ago. He told the exact same story. So I guess you guys had a similar episode.
Oh, he had a show like that? Well,
No.
I owe Phil a lot because it was when Phil was retiring. I was anchoring the news in Cincinnati for 10 years. And the company that owned the station where I did the news also owned talk shows. They owned Phil Donahue, Sally Jesse Raphael, and a whole bunch of others. And Phil was retiring. So they came to me, and even after talking with Phil, and they said, we're going to start another talk show. And they said to me, they took me to lunch and said, "We're starting another talk show. Phil's retiring, and you're going to host it." So I was assigned to it. So I owe a lot, to Phil Donahue because otherwise I never would have had that opportunity.
Alex wants to go back to the horse story and says, "Did they have any children together?"
I think they adopted.
It would make sense. Oh boy. And here comes a bit of a controversial question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but who did you dislike the most in daytime TV?
Oh, I didn't, and this is the truth. It sounds so soft, but there was no one I disliked. I mean, it's television. If I wouldn't have liked the show, and I did, I don't watch daytime television simply because I was working. But but if there's a show I don't like, then I just don't watch it. But I don't dislike the person who's doing the show. It's like going to a movie and you don't like the actor who's the villain. Well, he's acting, So there's no one in television that everyone has always been incredibly kind to me. So I don't have a bad word to say about any of them. I'd have to be making something up, but everyone's been really nice. I've been very lucky in life.
That's incredibly soft of you, Jerry. I was hoping,
I'm
maybe
77.
maybe we could orchestrate a rivalry. Maybe the person you hate most in streaming media, maybe it's Sasha and the Noob from Talkin' Funny. And we know it's just for play.
Yeah, no, we go way back.
Way back. Ree says, Jerry, you are a peach. And Justin says, you can say it, Ricky Lake.
No. Oh, no. Hey, I like Ricky. In fact, what is the show? We were on a show last year together. Oh, Drop the Mic. And we were challenging each other in this Drop the Mic thing. And I hadn't seen her in years. But no, I like her a lot. I have nothing bad to say
She
about her. She
seems like a lovely person.
She is. In fact, the truth is, Ricky Lake was the first talk show to go after young people. And we followed that formula. Most talk shows were aimed at middle-aged housewives. That was what they called the demographic at the time. And then along came Ricky Lake, and she went after young people, high school, college age. And I just thought as a business model, it made a lot more sense because every other show was trying to be like Oprah. And there were 20 shows trying to be like her. And I just thought it made more business sense to try and have a show more like go after Ricky's audience, because then we'd only be competing against one person instead of 20. And that next day we said, from now on, only young people in the audience, young subject matter, and young people on stage. And that's when the show started to go crazy because young people are much more open about their lifestyles, etc.
Absolutely.
And that really was the key to our success when the show suddenly started to take off. So really, it was Ricky who was the forerunner of, young people's daytime talk.
That's a great story. Jerry, we have a little game. We like to play a little game with our guests. Do you have a couple minutes to play a fun game with us?
Okay, I may not be very good at it, but
nobody ever is, and that's fine, Jerry.
Well, good. I'm very good at being a loser. Go ahead.
This game is called Nancy No Tongue Crash the Tongue Show Off Party, and here's the premise, Jerry. You work at a fancy motel, and they're having a special convention for people to show off their tongue. But this person, Nancy, who doesn't have a tongue, is there, and you need to kick her out of the motel. That old game. So all you have to do, Jerry, is pick a number, and we'll open that door and try to find that Nancy No Tongue.
Number 4.
All right. Maybe any other doors you want to try first? You know what? You said 4. We're going 4, Jerry. You found her.
8.
You found Nancy No Tongue right away.
Did?
You won the game, Jerry. That's great.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And here we have Snoppy.
I'm telling you, I am on a streak now.
You're doing pretty good.
Whoa.
But here's some of the other people at the fancy motel, all showing off their funny, silly tongues in one way or another. But you found Nancy No Tongue right away, and I applaud you for that, sir.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your honesty because you could have said, well, no, it's not 4. How would I know?
Oh, you don't see the game on your screen?
No, you know what? I don't see you guys. Why is that?
Oh, that's really strange.
I've been talking to a voice here. I see myself, which I find very attractive.
That it is incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, Jerry. If you could see us, maybe this is for the better. I'm glad.
Yeah, I don't know what button to push here. I'm talking to you on my phone.
No, you know what? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we can see and hear you fine, so I don't want to jinx it. I
Okay.
think I think it's great.
Yeah.
We have another couple of questions that came in for you.
Yes.
Uh, somebody says, uh, "Oh boy, no, we don't want to ask him that." How do you feel about Morton Downey Jr. at the time? Were you guys friends at all?
No, I don't mean no. I didn't know him. I mean, I knew who he was, and I guess the one time I did meet him was he was no longer on television. He was doing a radio show, and I think it was out in California for some reason, and he interviewed me on that show. So I never knew him when he was doing television, and as I understand it, he had a confrontational kind of show where he would go after the guests, and that was that format. On our show, we had a lot of confrontation, but never with me. In other words, I never attacked any of the guests.
Were you ever tempted to attack any of the guests?
Only once.
Only once. Was it the horse?
No, no, well, no, because I get along well with horses. I used to ride, frankly, quite a lot, but then I got tired of putting a quarter in all the time.
Sorry for the win. That was
Yeah.
good.
But no, no. On a more serious thing, we had early on. We were doing serious subjects before we went crazy, and we had a neo-Nazi on the show, and I had lost my family in the Holocaust. And then he just started going after me, calling me on the show, you hook-nosed Jew bastard and stuff like that. And then he said, if I had your mother, I would have turned her into a lampshade and stuffed her into the trunk of a car. And I lost it. And I went up on stage and put my finger in his face. And all of a sudden, he stands up. And he's like 6'5". Well, all of a sudden, I realized this was a bad idea of mine. And security ran up on stage, threw him down to the ground. And once he was on the ground, I'm going, come on, come on, come on, come, get up, get up.
Of course.
And, I could be brave then. But that was the only time I lost it. And even though he was vile, I should have been more professional about it. And the reason people were on the show is because they were out of the ordinary. They were outside the appropriate norms of society. And so I can't then complain just because it's someone who's crazy who is insulting me. We get crazy people on that say bad things about other people.
Yeah, but Jerry, that's really kind of you to say. I will say though, I don't think you had any responsibility to hold your cool when faced with a person like that. I think a lot of people will echo, and I'm just repeating what I've seen others say is always punch a Nazi, Jerry. Always punch a Nazi.
Yeah, that's my general rule. But except when they're bigger than me.
That's totally fair.
I come from a long line of chickens, and I don't, if I'm in trouble, I either try to tell a joke or I run.
Well, that's valuable too. I think that's
if people are laughing, it's hard. They don't tend to fight when they're laughing. So before I go outside, I have to work on my jokes.
I like that. I think that's a pretty cool philosophy, Jerry. Hey, look, we've used a bunch of your time tonight. I want to say it's been a joy to talk with you. And
you
again,
guys are fun. Yeah,
we appreciate that.
This is good. I'm glad to have been the 150th guest.
Well, Jerry, I'm going to send you a link so you can watch and see all the lovely things you didn't get to see, because you can go look in the mirror whenever you want and look at yourself.
Yeah.
But we'll make sure you can watch
That's
the
what
show.
I got for Christmas. My wife got me a mirror.
Oh, love it.
Oh,
That's
I love
great.
it. That's my favorite gift. Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you. Jerry, I'm going to put on the screen. I want to tell people to go to judgejerry.com and check out your new show. And
Super.
hopefully you do 5,000 episodes of that. We'll talk to you again,
appreciate
Jerry.
that.
Be
Good
well.
guys.
Be
Thanks,
well.
guys. Bye-bye.
That was Jerry Springer, ladies and gentlemen. Laugh Cougar, what do you think of that, buddy?
What a wonderfully nice, down-to-earth person Jerry was.
He's
That
great.
story he told reminded me of a little film I saw. It's called The Godfather Part 2, in which they went down to Cuba and there was a young lady pitching woo at a donkey.
Pitching woo. I have not heard that phrase in a very long time, Life Cougar. That's great. Justin says, "Where's Jerry? We want Jerry." Well, he was on the show. You tuned in a little earlier. Amazing guest, says Alex. And this was really a great interview, says Steph. Hey, we're happy that you guys are watching the show. And it was a delight to have freaking Jerry Springer. I have a story. I was so excited to pitch to get Jerry Springer on the show. When I sent the email to his publicist, the subject said Jerry Seinfeld interview. And when she forwarded it to him, she told me later, "I don't worry, I edited the subject out so that it said Jerry Springer." But how embarrassing! What a doofus I was. Hey, we got a lot in tonight's show. We had Jerry Springer. That's just the start. I hope you all stick around. We've got a new segment tonight that's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lovely musical guest who we're going to visit with next. So we're going to go away for 60 seconds. We'll have a little intermission. And then we are going to hang out with our lovely musical guest, the mock star, Killy Dwyer. But first, McGill Rake Sleeves.
Jerry Springer is a gem. Am I right, you guys? Like a national treasure. I just loved every second of that interview. I mean, he's just adorable too, right? You just want to just give him a big hug. I mean, you can't give him a hug right now, but you know, I mean, it just, and he seems so calm and confident. You know, he's been on TV. I'm kind of a little bit nervous to be on the show tonight, but I'm really happy to be here, and I feel really like it's a huge honor to be on with Jerry. And I took January off. Did Dryuary. Did anybody do Dryuary out there? That's when you do not drink for all of January. Now, I would call it more of a moistuary because there was the 20th, and I'm pretty sure that like everybody in the world drank on the 20th. But I took January off because every time I would have like a hangover pre-January, the next day the hangover would just present as like COVID to me, so I'm a hypochondriac to begin with. So, obviously COVID has pushed that along a little bit. And when I would wake up with a hangover, I'd be like, all these symptoms are presenting as COVID. And so I'm going to keep it highbrow. And I'm going to do a little song about being a hypochondriac, and because I know there's plenty of you out there, or even if you weren't before COVID, you might be now. So let's join the club, and I hope you dig it, guys. Got my burp and fart keyboard here, so I can turn it to a burp now. Nice. Say hi to Yoda over here. He's my. Ooh, I don't feel right. I call in sick because I don't feel well. My stomach aches and I salivate when I hear a bell. And it tastes like chalk and pennies. That can't be right. I feel like I can't breathe. And my chest is getting tight. I I was watching Dr. Oz. Yo, what a pompous prick. He said no symptoms, no discomfort. Don't mean you're not sick. Well, I have that. Or do I mean that I do not? I went on WebMD. I saw 100 things I do got. Spina bifida, rickets, and scarlet fever too. Flesh-eating bacteria, and also the swine flu. The mumps and the measles, the clap and the shingles. COVID, or is it a hangover? I don't know. Ooh, I'm a hypochondriac. I think that I'm dying. Scurvy, mange, Ebola. Please know that I'm not lying. My tumor's just too small to show up on my X-ray. I'll go back to the doctor tomorrow, twice the next day. ZocDoc. You guys know ZocDocs, right? A ZocDoc.
1-800-DENTIST.
A ZocDoc. Here we go.
1-800-DENTIST.
You think I'm crying wolf? You think it's paranoia? I brought you a stool sample which just seemed to annoy ya. Please take my blood and a urine sample too. When I feel happy and just fine, I don't know what to do. Okay, so there's a moral to this. Thought it would be best to share it with you guys. I'm a hypochondriac. I told you I was dying. I'm singing to you from my grave, and I know that I wasn't lying. Just because you think you're dying don't mean that you're not. It took me 90 years to die from what I got. Natural causes. Thank you.
Dwyer, that was incredible.
Sharing the wisdom of a white woman with hypochondria.
Oh, we love it. And again, just super cheers. You know, everyone who comes on the show or is a regular part of the show has their fart buttons like ready to go.
Gotta have the fart button, you know?
Yeah, it was amazing when you came on. I thought this is the musical guest we've been looking for. Love it. There were lots of fun comments coming through. Amaze balls, people said. Yeah, Tara Johnson says amaze balls.
I love some amaze balls. They're my favorite kind of balls.
They're cool balls, those ones. I want you to tell a quick story because
I will tell it.
We originally met on Twitter. Someone recommended you about the show, and then I had talked to you about it there. Then I went back to talk to you again, and it said this user is suspended. How'd you get booted off Twitter?
Oh no, me and Donald Trump both got booted. Well, I wish it was like super interesting. But here's the thing: when you're going to pick and choose who to, deny a site like Twitter, you start down a slippery slope, as we all kind of know. I mean, Twitter is, of course, a private entity, so I can't tell them what to do. But I might have said of the terrorists that stormed the Capitol, I might have said something like shoot them, but more like, shoot them with a camera, right? Like, hey, take a good, and I'm pretty sure I think that was I think that I had been in Twitter jail a few times. Sadly, I think at least for now, I'm indefinitely suspended for just saying basically what they should do to terrorists.
Well,
just my
if
take.
It takes your suspension just to show that, look, we're getting rid of people on both sides, then fine.
Yeah, I guess. But you don't want to get you don't want to get censored, do you? I don't know. It's hard. It's like, where do you draw the line? And that's the old question. And of course, Jerry Springer, that sort of plays with the idea of everything that he did with his work as well. So, to each their own. Do they draw a line? But I think. Pissed because I lost 14,000 followers.
That's a lot of followers. We have Matt says, if you have amazeballs for over 4 hours, you should contact your doctor. She bets you punched a Nazi. And Matt says, maybe you got suspended for pillow-based conspiracies.
I All of the above.
All of
Like
the above.
not one of those things did not. Every one of those things has happened to me on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure, at one point or another, if you don't feel violated on Twitter, then like, who are you as a person? And then there's the people that say they don't even have a Twitter. I'm like, okay. It's like the people that say they don't watch TV. I'm like, that's not true.
Even Jerry Springer has, I think, several Twitters, so they have a Twitter. Check out Killy Dwyer on Instagram, not Twitter.
Yes.
Killy Mockstar, and Google her. She's got all sorts of. She's a musician and quite an artist, and we were happy to have you on the show. Thanks for spending time with us.
Much. It was great. It's just fun, really fun, guys.
Absolutely. Take care, Killy. That was Killy Mockstar. Oh, look at this. Boop. There you go, noob. Sorry, buddy. What do you think of that, Left Cougar? How about that music?
What a wonderful song. A lot of the times when we have a guest on, I'll grab an acoustic guitar and I'll try to figure out what they're playing and how they're playing it and stuff. But this song I got right away. I sat here and I played along the whole song.
You played along. I get it because of the funny silly fart noises.
I was playing loudly as well.
What a guess!
What?
No, I was just changing the subject, but you finished your joke about farting loudly.
That's it. My seat's wet.
Here's what we have in store for you. You think, oh, the show's over. They had the guest. They had the musical guest. No, we have a new segment tonight, and we have, two people are going to try to crack the code and rescue the noob's mom tonight and win $50,000. And we have a brand new episode of For Worse. Yeah, Ronald Reese says, is it time to waste some time and money? Let's do that right now. A complete waste of your time and money.
I do.
No, I do.
For better or for worse.
Peg with plenty of fluids. If she thinks I'm drinking that stuff, she's crazy.
Sai, who are you talking to?
My doctor told me I needed to take my medication with plenty of fluids.
That's why I got you lighter fluid, windshield washer fluid, and antifreeze.
Lola, I'm not drinking any of that stuff.
I really wish you would, Sai. If you drank any of those fluids, you would take a long, never-ending nap. Yeah!
Long nap. Does that mean I could actually use the bed?
I suppose.
Totally fresh. I'm gonna drink some of this window cleaner. Ooh, grape, my favorite.
Looks like somebody could use a hot soak.
So are you really the slurpiest paper towel in town?
How do I lie down on this bed? Women are from Mars.
Shall we play a game?
And real men are from penis.
Get ready to slurp up the wetness, Mr. Beefy. I know how to lie on a bed.
Hubba hubba. That's all I can say. Oh, goodness. Lots of comments coming in through that one. Internal streaking is a leading cause of death. That's true. Thank you, Matt, for sharing that with us. Real man, not from PENIS, says Real Levine. Thank you for putting the spaces there so the network sensor didn't jump all over it. My goodness, that was fun. Of course, you can watch that and other episodes of For Worse and other things, other creations by a complete waste of your time and money at youtube.com/Linda versus Tony. Go there, subscribe. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Uh, oh, Noob, how do you keep popping down there? What's going on? What are you doing, laptop? This? We had not seen Army Doritos in quite a long time. Hey, buddy, it's good to see you. And here's someone we haven't seen all season.
I'm finally back from Honduras.
It's good to see you, Pretty Debbie Shortcake. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new segment we're going to try this week. We have an advice columnist who's going to be on the show. Her name is Carol. You're going to meet her in a minute. But what I need for you is to ask your live questions. Oh, Reese says, "Hello, Army. I love you." That's cool. Army loves getting a little love. And Ramona missed Pretty Debbie Shortcake. We did too.
I miss you too.
That's nice, Pretty Debbie Shortcake. Here's the deal, though. So we have an advice person who's going to come on the show and answer your live questions. So we want you to put in a question, like maybe you don't know how to celebrate Valentine's Day this year, or you need to know a good recipe for a hot, fancy date that you have. So go ahead and ask that question. Right before we bring her on, just to give you time to ask your advice, I do want to show, we kind of breezed through this game with Jerry, and we worked pretty hard on this one. Left Cougar, you want to see some of these other people at the tongue show-off party?
Sure, door number 4.
Oh, you picked the one. That's No Tongue Nancy. But look at this. We have I Snoppy. That's good. That's quality comedy. I Snoppy. Like Snoopy, but it's kind of off-brand, We got this guy. His shirt says Porty.
Loves the party.
Yeah, loves the party. This guy's tongue is not where you would expect it to be.
Hey, bud, clean the floor.
That's good. And then we have Can O'Charlie, who was very proud of his little guy in a can.
Oh, somebody opened up a whole can of Charlie.
That's right. You get it. And then this guy, who I don't know if you know what creature this guy was modeled after.
That's John Lennon on the rooftop.
No, this is modeled after a scientific picture that I found, and I bet someone in the chat room should know the answer to that. Maybe they'll chime in with that. But we do have some good advice questions coming in. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be fun.
She's a perfect 10 at 62. Carol's here to counsel you. Hey, ask her now for some advice. I bet you won't ask her twice. Oh, Carol fixes your life.
Hello there, Carol.
Hey, Sasha, how you doing?
Doing pretty
So
good.
good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Let's bring our bodies on here. Carol,
There's the noob. Hi, noobers. And there's the laugh cougar. Oh, I just want to cut his little head.
the whole gang is here. Carol, you're a wise woman, and that's why we bring you on to answer questions for people. And we did have a question come in. Maybe you can tackle this one. Zimmer Brooks says, "Why do I spend every Tuesday night watching this show?"
Zimmer, it's because it's the best thing next to your recliner besides your natty ice. All right? It's just easy reach. You just got to turn it on and let it wash over you. That's good. That's good.
It's cool. I want to ask you, Carol, how do you spend your days and nights lately with this whole pandemic going on?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Sometimes I go and get the the wire cutters from the garage and I clip my toenails. It takes a good solid hour and a half. Then after that, usually I'll make some muffins. What the? Yeah, right.
Oh, sometimes the noob's microphone goes a little ham.
A little crazy. I thought someone was choking on my toenails.
It's also possible. Matt DeMarco says, Carol, first-time caller, long-time listener, what's the best way to overcome a case of career ennui and or athlete's foot? I'll hang up and listen.
Oh, you just suck on your toe. That's it. You got to get really flexible. You got to do a lot of the stretching. I do my calisthenics every morning, 90 back, 90 forward, and then eventually you just put your toe in your mouth and you're good. Then you don't even have to buy dental floss. You use that toenail is you go right through all the teeth.
That's killer advice. Carol, what should I do for Brooks for Valentine's Day? Says Real Levine.
I think that you should get him or her. I don't know. You should get that person a custom Valentine like this one. All right. Roses are red, daffodils are yellow. I love talking funny. This is the best thing I did all day.
That's a good Valentine. Left Cougar, what do you got, buddy?
I like to eat. Okay, it's partly my thing, and
Yeah.
I love garbanzo beans, but some people call them chickpeas, and I've been in actual fist fights about it. What is the correct term for the fruit or whatever it is?
Laugh Cougar, it's whatever is in your heart. All right. If you believed, nothing is wrong.
All right, I got garbanzo beans in my heart.
That's right.
You
That's
get
right.
garbanzo beans coming out your tutor, buddy. Carol, what do you think of dibs?
What do I think of dibs? Fucking do it, all right? You spend all that time and your goddamn energy cleaning out your parking space. That's your space for the next 3 to 6 months.
You heard it here. So Jerry Springer says this is not enforceable by the law, but you're saying, you know what? Fuck it, do it.
Fuck it. You're gonna listen to Jerry Springer? Who cares?
That's fair. Hey, we have. I want to tell people, like, you make these custom Valentines and you make videos for people.
That's right.
And how much do you charge for those again?
Well, here's the thing. It starts out at 69 cents, right? But you can pay as much money as you want. I only got a 5th grade education, and most of my learning is done from self-help books. So I feel like my creative thing is like just around 69 cents. But, I'll take a little bit more if you want to give it to me. I got to get more cans of the garbanzo beans.
Andrew wants to know, given the current political climate, should I still buy Goya chickpeas?
No, that is an inferior brand, except when it comes to their hot sauce. Definitely still buy their hot sauce.
All right. That's fair. Carol, you're a peach. And it's not just me saying that. Ree Levine says that. Carol, you're a peach.
God, thank you. Thank you, Ree.
We're going to bring you back again because I think this is really, what we want to do is provide a public service, and nobody should take advice from myself, the noob, or the left cougar.
That's
But
right.
you've got some solid advice there. We appreciate that. Oh, wait, we do have another question coming in for you. What's a good gift for my Valentine under $10?
Are you kidding, Keith? Were you not just fucking listening to the thing 5 minutes before? It's a goddamn custom Valentine from Carol.
That's right.
You send me an email. I'll send you some messages.
What's your email address, Carol?
All right. I got this girl. Her name's Laureen. She's doing all my shit for me. So you're going to email her comedylaureen@gmail.com. And she'll get in touch with me. Don't worry.
comedylaureen@gmail.com, and get your 69 cents ready or
That's
more
right.
to pay for custom messages and videos from Carol. Carol,
That's right. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for spending time with us, Carol. We will talk to you again soon.
Later, guys.
That was some great killer advice. Noob, you keep falling down there, buddy. Laugh Cougar, tell a joke.
Okay. Knock, knock. It's a fish.
Look, we're all scrambled now. This is crazy. Here's the deal. It was a fish at the door. That's pretty funny, Laugh Cougar. Okay, we've done a lot. We had a new segment. We had a new episode of For Worse, and we still haven't even gone through the contest part where we tried to rescue the noob's mom. And guess what? The two SOBs who won a chance to play tonight did not even show up. So
super awesome buddies.
Super awesome buddies. That's right. So, I could waste your time and show you their, that they gave me a 4-digit number. And because we have a lot of people watching who maybe don't want to repeat numbers ever on the show. I'll tell you, their numbers were 2021 and 6662, and neither of them opened the safe to get the Noob's mom out. So, oh, John Schuster will play. Well, John, you got to enter. This is John Schuster's won an Olympic gold medal, and he wants to take some time to rescue the Noob's mom from a safe. John Schuster, you can play, and everybody can play by going to talkinfunny.com and signing up. I wish I could just pull people from the audience, but we got a whole process. Go to talkinfunny.com, click the banner, enter the contest, and if you watch every show for the Noob to show the secret word, you get bonus entries, and there's a higher chance you get to come on the show and try. So we did have a question from somebody. Does this mean that previous guests can win the money? We may start giving previous guests a second chance at cracking the safe, because a lot of these people who are winning now don't even watch the show, and they don't come on the show to play. So keep entering, everybody. Keep putting in that secret word. Next week, we have a very fun show, ladies and gentlemen. We have someone that made that WandaVision comment earlier. Well, from the show WandaVision and many other things, we have Itamar Enriquez coming on the show, which is going to be incredible. He does all the little interstitial funny commercials in WandaVision, and you've seen him in a million commercials and a million things. We cannot wait to talk to Itamar with musical guest Johnny Polanski, which I'm very freaking excited about. Johnny Polanski was this kid who sent this demo tape to Frank Black, lead singer from the Pixies, who said, "This is awesome. I'm going to produce your record." And it was an amazing freaking record. And he's gone on to do many since. An incredible musician. He's going to share some time with us and play a song on this show. Emily Sue Fairbach missed Jerry. Well, you have to go to talkinfunny.com and watch the episode in a little bit, and you could watch him. Cool guest. Love WandaVision. Tuesday nights are actually the best. I agree, Ree. We have a good time. Yes, they are. Elizabeth agrees too. Where's Jerry? Says Justin. Justin, you SOB. He was on earlier in the show. The show has saved my marriage. That's great to hear. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. We got more surprises for you next week. And, of course, an incredible guest and musical guest. So, till Tuesday.
Big fucking deal. All hogs are technically groundhogs.